Radio Arcane.
Dark, eclectic music. Radio Arcane, the podcast, number 11, with Mr.Kitty, Pastel Ghost, and Panic Priest. I'm Brian Drabant.
I'm Motuvius Rex.
AndrOspore.
I'm Sorrow Vomit.
Kaleidoscope.
And I am Jack from Panic Priest.
All right.
Yeah.
So you guys have been very busy, I've noticed, touring.
Yeah, well, really, Mr. Kitty's been very busy touring on this huge tour. I just joined this tour recently, but I also played in Tampa for Absolution Fest, so I flew out there.
Oh, nice.
And flew back, and I did another little fest in Brooklyn recently and flew there, and Cold Wave's not that long ago, so yeah I've been pretty busy.
Awesome.
These two were at Cold Waves.
And we talked to you.
Yeah, we hung out. It was so much fun.
We did.
A lot of
awesome.
really fun weekend.
Were you in San Antonio too?
No.
No. Okay.
Was it the Absolution? That was in Tampa, right?
That was in Tampa.
Yeah.
Absolution
Okay.
Fest was in Tampa, and it was a lot of fun.
It was like Twin Tribes
Too much
and
fun. Twin
Boot Blacks.
Boot Blacks, Actors, Wingtips,
Yeah.
Nice.
Grin, Ritual Howls,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cruel Eyes,
Yeah.
Starry Night, Assemblage 23.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was it was amazing.
Very
Tampa's
cool.
got a great scene. I went to art school in Sarasota, right below there, so I used to go up all the time. The castle and
Oh yeah, we
got a great scene.
we had some fun at the castle. I'll tell you.
Yeah. The castle was so awesome because my first and only convergence that I went to was in Tampa, Florida, and just being able to go to the castle and experience what that was kind of life-changing.
Oh, it was so much fun. It was everything I wanted it to be.
Yeah, it was incredibly ornate and beautiful, and just as a 20-year-old, just like, wow, this is...
It was very hedonistic, which I appreciate.
Which is lovely.
Who doesn't? Fuck. I mean, come on.
Some people don't, but you know, those aren't my kind of people.
Well,
Is the
I'm with
senator
you on that
still
one.
there?
Jeez.
Did you see the senator? He's kind of famous there.
The senator?
Yeah. He's an older guy that wears like just the thong and that's it. Or
I'm
sometimes
not
a tutu.
sure. I feel like I would have remembered that,
Yeah.
but then again, there's a lot of things I might not remember.
Which one was
Maybe he's
it?
retired, you know? Who knows? I don't know.
It was his day off.
We all need a day off.
Maybe you can
the
tell the difference
Even
between
the senator.
No, if you met the senator, you would know.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure I would.
Yeah. His banana hammock is unforgettable.
Nice.
Awesome. I wish I could rock a banana hammock like
Yeah.
that.
I think anybody can if you try hard enough.
Well, it's
Yeah, you're right. I
probably
could do
true.
it. We'll see. I'm just gonna start selling Panic Priest banana hammocks.
That's
That'll be
right.
There you go.
Which item?
I would totally buy one.
Sweet.
So what kind of got you started with this project? I mean, what was the impetus? I guess
Well, not to make it too long, basically, in a nutshell, I was in another band before this, and it was called Mike Gold Mask, and that band was sort of wrapping up and winding down, and I wrote a lot of the songs and everything in that project, but my ex-partner just moved on to a different career, huge life change, which was awesome for them, but I still had so much to do musically, and so I started writing songs for Panic Priest, what became Panic Priest, and at first I just decided that the one thing I really knew I wanted to do was sing. I wanted a very vocal-driven project and to explore my voice, and so the songs really revolved around that, and they just started coming out in this sort of dark manner, partly because of my life experience during the time and just what I was going through, and partly just because of my love of that music, and a lot of those classic influences just started popping up, and it made complete sense with the voice and with the time and period in my life. And so that was the birth of Panic Priest, and it was really about me sort of figuring out a way to do this, to continue to make music and to make it as streamlined as possible for myself so that I could do it whenever I want to and have control over it. And so far, so good.
nice.
That's great.
Awesome.
I noticed you play a 12-string too, 12-string electric.
I do.
Which are you influenced by Wayne Hussey at all?
Yeah, so I like that. I mean, I listen to a lot of Sisters of Mercy and The Mission, and a lot of the old goth albums had 12-string guitar on there.
Yeah, the Echo and the Bunnymen.
Echo and the Bunnymen, I love that stuff. And there was a lot of people don't realize there was a lot of 12-string
Yeah.
in those on those
They
80s
sound
albums.
great.
They do.
Yeah, I don't always use it exactly the way that those fine guitar players use it. I probably don't use it nearly as well as any of them, but it's I like having a unique guitar sound, and it's very versatile. The 12 string is actually really, really versatile. You can get so many different sounds out of it, do so many different things with it. So it gives me some flexibility when I'm writing songs and adding parts.
Yeah, I'm a fan of them. I like the sound.
Yeah, they can be great.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with it. But thanks.
record label as well?
Yeah, I'm on Negative Gain Records, so they liked my album, which I was very happy that they liked the album. There was a time when I first met Negative Gain when I was in my old band, and there was a time when we almost worked with Negative Gain, but for various reasons it just didn't happen. So when the time came that I was doing Panic Priest and I was getting it together and sort of conceptualizing the entire project, I went ahead and sent them the demos, and I'm not sure if they liked it at first, but but then one day it became they said they couldn't stop listening to it. The songs were stuck in their head, and they got really behind it. And I was fortunate enough to have my first album come out on a label like that. So
Yeah,
That's great.
I'm very grateful for that. Yeah.
Very cool.
You want to open your beer?
I really do want to.
Yeah.
Let's crack
That's
good, man. Ceremonial beers. Welcome to Louisville and Architecture and Radio Arcane.
Thank you. This is great.
Yes.
Modelo.
Yes.
Modelo. Cheers. Cheers.
So, one of the things that I love about so many of the new music projects that are coming out is that there's one person behind it, and what I'm used to, seeing 3 to 4 to 5, band members, really comes from one person. And I don't really know what my question for you is, but just how do you kind of navigate that, and what is kind of your process
on the first
there?
album, it would be disingenuous of me to say that it was all one person, because it wasn't. It was.
Okay.
I have other people that did parts on my songs, that contributed things here and there. There's a song that Wingtips. I don't know if you're familiar with Wingtips.
They're playing here Friday.
One of my favorite bands. There's a song that they contributed to. There's a song that the guys from Night contributed to. A couple songs. I part of the process of me starting Panic Priest was me teaching myself how to do electronic music and stuff, because in the past My Gold Mask was electronic, but I wasn't partly electronic, but that wasn't my what I was playing necessarily. I was still shaping it in a producer sort of way, but not so much hands-on in an engineer kind of way. So on the album, I would write the whole song. I would map it out. I would put sometimes I'd put a dummy beat, or sometimes I'd get the whole thing first, and then I would send it to someone, and I'd be like, "Do you want to contribute the synth part or a drum beat or something?" And then they would say yes, thankfully, because they liked the song, and then they would send me back parts, and then I would sort of put them in, and I would change them, I'd chop them up, I'd remix them, and then also work with an engineer, a couple engineers, and so then it really it's one person as far as the songwriting, the vision, all of that goes, but it is a collaborative effort. However, I am a control freak, so being able to do it this way is important to me, because
Hear that.
because it's flexible for me, and if I don't like a part or I don't want to use a part, then I don't have to, because it doesn't match the song. On the next album that I'm doing almost everything myself. I've learned a lot, and I've come a long way with all of that, so I would say, I don't know, 85% of the next album is going to be all me. However, I still like that. I like when people...
The collaboration.
Yeah, I enjoy it. So I did still reach out to a couple people, less out of sort of a necessity and more out of just, I really want that still, that touch. So I have Twin Tribes contributed to us, one of my songs
Yeah.
on the next album. So it's going to be cool. I'm excited.
Cool. They're playing here in Louisville too.
They're one of my
Yeah.
favorite bands. So.
I love them so much. But,
They're the best. Yeah, I love them.
I remember just what it was. Is it too late to ask? Oh, not at all. You don't seem anything at all.
there synth-wise on this newer stuff?
I'm using some. It's a really a mix of stuff.
Mixed stuff,
I do a
yeah.
lot of stuff in Ableton. I've learned Ableton, and I've become well versed in it. But I do sometimes use hardware. It's just whatever to me sounds good and whatever gets me the sound.
Totally.
And whatever makes the end result work for me is how I'm going to do it. I'm not a purist in any way. I have to do this in a way that I can afford to do it.
Sure.
I can do it practically
And workflow-wise, I'm sure.
and workflow and all that
where
stuff.
it feels right.
And where it feels right, and where I can get things in shape.
Yeah.
And I'm working with Brian Fox, who's engineering the next album, and he engineered the Wingtips album, the new one that came out. And I've been working with him, and I'm really he'll add some ideas and stuff. We'll flesh them out together in the studio, and I'm really excited where the songs are going. Some of these songs I started writing all the way back to when I was writing the first album.
Okay,
So there's
wow.
like a lot of songs that I just didn't get to
Yep, I get
finish
that.
yet. So because I'm always writing
Sure.
ideas and songs, and I have tons of
Shit
ideas.
kind of gets pushed to the back for a while. You come
and
revisit
I
it
bring
again,
back out, and then I have a different perspective on it at that point in my life.
Absolutely.
And so it kind of changes.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of it, because art is subjective.
It is.
Yes.
But it's all got to it all comes from I just kind of I just kind of feel it, and I just kind of try to feel. I'm very big on melody. Melody for me is important.
10-4.
So
Yes, it is.
Same.
melody
Feels.
and emotion are my two of my favorite things. So in music.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Let's get on to some tunes.
Cool.
Listen to some of it.
All right.
All right, yeah, that's a good idea. I'll say thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much
Here's a present you gave us.
for
Yes.
coming here.
Yeah, thank you so much. Seriously.
No, thank you for having me. I super appreciate it, and I appreciate what you're doing here, because it's great to spread the word about artists, and I think it's important. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Cold,
Vivian from Pastel Ghost. And you are out of Austin, Texas, is that correct?
Yeah, I'm currently based in Austin, originally from California. Yeah, I've been living in Austin for like the last year and a half.
You said grew up in San Francisco?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I grew up in the Bay Area as well, in
really?
Pleasanton. So,
Oh, cool, yeah.
yeah, my sister lived in San Francisco, the Mission, for a while. So,
Oh, awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
We were in Austin last week.
Yes. It was great.
What were you there for? Just for fun?
Sandlaw Morite.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, it was a great festival.
How'd you like Austin?
Oh, that was really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. Everybody likes to party there.
Yeah, they're really good. Like
They do.
so what was the sort of start of, how everything came together for you as far as, Pastel Ghost is concerned? If that's not too difficult of a question.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't know. It maybe started Pastel Ghost, I guess, like 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, maybe 5 years ago or so. I just kind of started off with like a track. I was kind of like, I want to make something kind of dark. I don't want to make like a dark electronic dance song.
Okay.
And then so I just kind of started with that and put it on Bandcamp. I didn't really.
Like self-released, basically?
Yeah. Yeah, I just put it out there. It kind of, I don't know, people kind of heard it, and I was like, you know what, this is, that kind of birthed Pastel Ghost, I guess.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the direction I want to go in. I want to just make music like this, and then I made an EP, and then an album just from there, so it just kind of started off with a song, and then I was just like, this is the direction
Nice.
I want to go.
That's awesome.
And you're on Cleopatra?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been with them for like a year or so. They re-released my first album with this, and then they put out my last album at The Reality.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so that first one was what, 2015? Is that right?
Yeah.
No, and that's amazing. What's so cool is seeing so many of, or not even seeing, hearing so many of your different sounds and influences going through your tracks within these albums, and it just, anytime I listen to your music, it's a journey. Like it starts from one point and just kind of takes me on a journey to the next point, and I absolutely love that about you. And just it's almost like storytelling, and electronic music can do that. I'm a big fan of techno, and I feel like that's one of the really strong points of that genre, is that it can do that to you. So like, I guess my question would really be like, what really kind of influences you, and if there's any notable artists that kind of influence your music, and where that kind of comes from.
Oh, wow. I don't know. I don't really, I guess, yeah, it's kind of, I have a wide range of things I listen to. I guess I don't like to say too much what my influences are, just because I don't like to label myself too much, or kind of put myself into a box and be like, okay,
Understood.
this is super this or that genre.
Yeah.
But it's, obviously, stuff like Crystal Castles, Trust kind of got me in that, started in kind of the direction of like, I really like that vibe. That's kind of just really resonated with me. But then I also really like, I like shoegaze a lot. I like Cocteau Twins, stuff like that. So it's just kind of, I don't know, it's kind of a range of influences. But yeah, I try not to, put myself into a box in that sense. But I have pretty ranged taste, I guess.
No, and that's super cool. Yeah, falling into a category can be hard and kind of lame sometimes.
And we all have influences, so that makes sense,
Definitely, and I can definitely see that from what you said, and just there's a lot to it, and it's very dreamy and ethereal, but also kind of latches you onto this this beat that kind of drives you to this, I don't know, to this plane.
I love that.
I'm so into it. Like, I clearly am so into it, and I love it.
Yeah.
And so.
I just, basically I'm just going for, kind of moody, dreamy, and just exactly what you said earlier, kind of like how you felt like the songs were kind of taking you on a journey. That's like, I don't know, that's kind of the
I feel like
all
girl.
I could ever ask
I love it.
It's awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This
We're
is
so
really cool.
excited to have you.
Yeah, my first time ever in Kentucky, so. And
What made you guys decide to come through here anyway? Tech speak.
I'm not. I think we were kind of booking the tour, and I think our next show. I'm not sure what our next show is. I think it might be.
I think it's Richmond.
Oh yeah, Richmond.
Nice.
don't even know.
He knows everything.
We get passed over a lot, you know. We're so close to Cincinnati and Nashville and Indianapolis. We're so close to so many cities, you know. It's like,
Yeah, so it was just kind of we were just kind of like, okay, what can we play along the way? And
We're glad you came through.
definitely.
oh
Glad you came
yeah,
through. Yeah.
I'm glad we came too. It's
Beautiful.
yeah, really cool.
I'm excited to dance to your live performance.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you have on the horizon?
Oh, yeah. I'm working on my third album, so after the tour is done, I'm doing another kind of mini tour with Mr.Kitty in December. We're kind of playing like Florida, New Orleans, and Texas.
Nice.
So after that, I guess, start of the new year, I'm going to be working on my album and just like a ton of new merch and stuff like that. Just kind of focusing on that. Maybe taking a break from touring for a while just so I can like focus on that. But
Nice.
I'm definitely working on my
Get some writing
third
done.
album.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Super cool.
On to the music.
On to the music then. Yeah. Let's hear some of this.
Mr.Kitty Forrest. He's one of my best friends, so it's just fun. Aside from working and it being like tiring and stuff like that, and we're just constantly sleep deprived, but it's just a lot of fun. And just going on tour with one of your best friends is really nothing more you could ask for. And
that's awesome.
We just, aside from working and playing the shows, like we just hang out and just goof around. So I couldn't ask for a better person to tour with.
Great. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I did hear in your all's last show in Chicago, you all had to turn people away at your show.
Yeah. The show, all the pre-sales, it sold out just from
I
pre-sales.
think our building needs to be in Chicago.
Yeah.
Where were you playing in Chicago?
It's called the Underground Lounge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was just downtown and just kind of this weird underground. I don't know. It was really cool actually, but yeah, they had to turn away a lot of people at the
Unfortunately.
door.
Yeah.
They said at least 50 or so people.
Wow.
Oh man.
Do you know what the capacity was?
It was kind of a small venue. I think maybe 120 or something like
We should
that.
have told them to come here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
You're like, to be continued
Yeah.
in
We can handle
Louisville,
an extra
Kentucky.
50.
But
Shouldn't be a
yeah, that was a really cool show. But that was my first time playing in Chicago too, and I was like, oh, but
That's great.
yeah,
Oh, well, that's awesome though.
yeah, Chicago's really cool.
All right. Well, thanks again so much for appreciate her sitting down to talk with us for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
awesome. Yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're super excited to have you in Louisville. And
Awesome. Yeah, happy to be here.
We need
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm like, my husband's usually here to like help me set up and stuff, and then he does my lights. So in a last minute stupor, I had to figure out how to do it all myself.
Oh no! Oh no!
So I programmed all my lights like yesterday, and then I set up all my merch to make sure it was like easy to do. And then yeah, I had to set up all my equipment too. So it's pretty great.
But it worked out. You got it all.
Yeah, well, because I was worried because when I'm trying to do like MIDI, I have like a vocoder or like a vocal processor that works as like a vocoder, so you have to send like the info to it instead of playing the keys.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So I had to figure out how to do the vocoder at the same time as the lights, because the lights are like MIDI programmed too. So I was like, oh god, this shit's not gonna work. And then I did it all like yesterday, and then I was like, I don't know what it's gonna look like.
Did you like send MIDI to the light and the vocoder at the same time? Or
yeah, it goes to like a DMX controller.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's just because my husband's usually up there like playing a keyboard that has all the like lights programmed and stuff.
I see. Okay.
So I just had to figure out how to make it not exist.
But it worked out. You got it.
Yeah, it's like totally flawless. I'm like, wow, I could just do this all day. I'm so powerful.
I'm ready now.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Are we recording?
We're recording.
Cool.
Oh.
All right.
This is edited. It's not live.
Yeah, we're gonna chop it up, so no worries.
Cool.
Yeah, this is not live in any way whatsoever.
Awesome. Let me get
Awkward
close to
silence
this.
to be damned. We good.
I have that one turned up pretty sensitive because she was really.
Oh, Vivian.
Yeah, Vivian was very quiet. So let's see.
No, you probably need to turn me down like negative 20 decibels because I'm pretty fucking loud. Especially if I get really excited about something, I'll be like, oh, I'll be like peeking in the red, and you'll be like,
Right.
It looks all right.
You're clipping.
Cool.
So welcome to Louisville, Mr. Kitty.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Yo, Rose Garden funeral party. Oh my god.
We just saw them last
week.
Yeah.
Did they come through here?
We're in Austin.
We were in Austin.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
At the Santa Maria.
Muerte.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god. I
Yeah.
wanted to go, but I was just so busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I live there. That's so weird.
Yeah. So you were in town when
Yeah,
we were there?
and then I like live streamed with her on Instagram, and then I was like, God, what am I doing? Oh wait, I'm planning a tour.
Yeah. So you were actually in town when we were there.
Yeah.
Random.
Wow.
Random.
That's
So crazy.
They're great live.
I love them so much. Like,
Yeah.
definitely. I'm glad that they're moving out of Dallas, because Dallas you can only get so big, and then you hit like a glass ceiling, and then everybody just starts like making you work for free and stuff, and then you're like, well, I kind of want to do other things. So yeah. But anyways,
Does Austin have more youth? I guess university maybe.
Austin,
Bigger music scene, I would think. I mean,
Bigger music scene.
yeah,
music scene.
definitely
Yeah.
lots of live
Smaller
music
city, though.
happening. Yeah, there's definitely like so much happening there. I mean, it is the live music capital of the world.
right.
Yeah.
And home of South by Southwest. So,
Exactly.
you know,
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff that goes on there. There's always music playing every day. It doesn't matter if it's like a DJ or if it's like a band or anything. It's always constant. And so I kind of like it. And everybody's usually friendly. Like the goth scene is like super friendly there. It's
Nice.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Are you from Austin originally?
No, I grew up in like the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex.
Okay.
But I moved to Austin in like 2015, I think, just because I played like one show there at one point, and I made like $4,000 in merch just selling CDs and records.
That's crazy.
I was like,
Awesome.
So you started in Dallas because you've been around since what, 2008 or 9 or something like that.
if you want to get technical, I've been doing the Mr. Kitty project since 2005,
Okay.
and then from 2005 to 2009, I made like IDM and breakcore and drum and bass.
Okay.
And there's like 30 releases of that are still out there.
Oh, shit.
That I kind of release like every so often, but yeah, I like started all my synth pop stuff in like 2009, and then I just kept with that sound. And
No,
then,
I love that.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
We were talking about melody with Panic Priest and stuff too, and it's like, melodies.
It's so important.
I love
Yeah.
melody.
Yeah, and I just like, well, cause I didn't know that I was listening to goth music like until I moved out of my parents' house, cause I'd always known these songs, like I'd always known like Depeche Mode and like The Cure. I just never knew who they were, and then I like took all my mom's like tapes and records, and then I was like playing them. I played Disintegration on cassette like all the way through, cause I was like, this looks kind of familiar, and it was like the same one that my mom bought like when it came out,
Nice.
and so. it was just so crazy because I was like, oh, this is The Cure, and then like, oh, this is Joy Division, this is Depeche Mode, and then I was like, wow, I guess I'm gothic.
Works out, I guess, right?
Totally. And then yeah, it's
That's
just
great.
I just said, yeah, it's always been there. And then like my dad hardly ever listens to music, but he would always listen to like really strange, like he would listen to like new age and like spiritual music. So he had like Enigma, Enya, and like all these other things that like were just one-off things because he liked one song on the CD. And so I like had those CDs and I was like, yo, Enya's Watermark is like the best fucking album of all time. Like Orinoco Flow, you can't top that. Like
some of that stuff makes for some good vaporwave and stuff too.
It does. Yeah.
I mean, but you just can't touch Enya. Like I wouldn't. I mean, that's like my end all be all goal. Like if I could just live in a castle with all my cats,
right?
Or like, or
she's
like
notoriously isolated. Yeah,
she's like a recluse, and she's just like she has like a security gate with like the cameras and stuff, and she's like, I wonder what she does in there.
Yeah,
like, does she just like play the harp like this all day, or just like sing in her kitchen and it just has like the perfect reverb, and she's like, nobody else is gonna hear this.
So you feel like listening to those albums growing up were obviously an influence on what you're doing now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But I like looked into my own types of music. Like I grew up like DJing like raves and stuff with like happy hardcore and drum and bass and like trance, and then I'd had like a fake ID to like get in clubs when I was in high school to like go DJ these places, and so it was really strange, but I had a lot of fun doing it. I didn't do any drugs, but I did buy drugs for people off the dark web. So, yeah. But yeah, like that type of music, and then like when Crystal Castles was like blowing up, I was like really inspired by them because it was just so chaotic and like electronic that I was like, this is like it. Like I like this.
But it's cool you kind of traverse, both scenes. I feel like I'm kind of have my foot in two scenes too. You kind of there's sort of the rave scene, the techno scene, as well as the sort of goth like EDM scene to a degree too.
I think there's a lot of crossover, honestly.
Yeah, and I just like
there is a lot of, especially these days, kind of the golden age of that sort of crossover, especially between techno and EDM. And
it's the most beautiful thing I've ever like heard. Like and then my hometown in Arlington, like electronic music was like unheard of. Like people were like, oh, you listen to that, oh, you're weird. And then so like the only thing that was like really popular was like Hot Topic, like metalcore and hardcore. And hip-hop was really big. But I worked in a studio like producing, like mixing and mastering like metal bands, and so I have a bunch of experience with like how shitty of vocalists they are sometimes, and how they really tear up their voices. And
Amen. Amen.
I'm like, okay. Yeah, so I worked in a studio with like metal bands, like miking up drums and guitars and amps and stuff like that. And then like I produced like hip hop at one point because people just wanted beats to like rap over, and it was so easy to like just throw a compressor on their vocals to make it consistent.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's it's pretty cool.
But a good experience for being able to kind of make your own shit as well. I guess.
And just like to have experience doing like all of this and just being in every world at the same time. Like I don't want to be in just like my own world. Like I mean, I'm hot enough to do that, but like I don't want to. Like I want to be everywhere.
Right.
Yeah. But definitely like like all the music that like I grew up with was definitely an influence. That's for sure.
Awesome. Nice. All right. Well, thanks so much for agreeing to do this interview with us. We really appreciate it.
It's very casual, so it's kind of like
super casual. Yeah.
I was hoping it wasn't like, how did you write After Dark? And I was
we're super. But
there's no script here. It's pretty fucking.
Do you want to tell us that though?
Literally the last show I played in Dallas, I had a crush on somebody there, and I was like, okay, so it was kind of just, the song is like a play-by-play of like how I saw them at the show and how they saw me, like, we were really feeling it, and I was just like, yeah. So then we parked in a 7-Eleven parking lot and like made out for a minute, and then I was just kind of like, gross. And then I went home, and then I was like, I like wrote down like the lyrics for that song, because I was like, how does this go? Like that was like really fun, but I was just kind of like gross. But I was like, that feeling, it was just like, oh, it's so exciting. And then when it happened, I was like, wow, that's it? Huh. But yeah, I made out with somebody in a 7-Eleven parking lot.
Inspiration can come from anywhere.
Yeah, but I had the instrumental like down for so long, I just didn't know what to put over it, because that guitar I wrote over it was like, I was like, something has to happen with this. And I was just going to throw it away like I do with everything else, but
I feel that too.
I finally just let it go, and I was like, okay, cool.
You have to.
And I didn't know it was going to explode like psychotically, so yeah. Thanks everybody for 5 million plus plays.
like to ask, what are your future plans with Mr. Kitty?
My what?
Your future plans?
Future plans?
Do you have anything in the works coming up?
I mean, I'm currently on tour with Pastel Ghost and Panic Priest, and then later Viva Non. But I don't really have. Oh wait, actually, yeah. I'm touring Europe next month, and I'm going to Russia for the first time.
That's awesome.
Nice.
That's great.
We're playing this like arena, and then the people that booked it were like, we booked like Ozzy Osbourne, Metallica, Mayhem, Jennifer Lopez.
Holy shit.
And then they're like, yeah. And I was like, okay, what kind of venue is it? And they're like, it's an arena. And I was like, okay. And they're like, it's almost sold out. And I was like, okay. So
No pressure.
No, you can wing it. Come on.
but I'm like very in touch with like my Russian fan base because I have like the Russian Facebook called VK, and yeah, I talk to people on there and they're just like, we're so excited you're coming to Russia.
That's awesome.
There's so many awesome Russian bands right now.
I'm ready to say like.
We love Russian music.
Yeah.
Do what?
We love the current Russian bands coming out.
We're constantly.
yeah.
listening
I don't know how to say their names, but they're like if I see their
can't say
if I see their like how they're like their symbol.
There's a Russian like post-punk band that I toured with, and they're from St. Petersburg, and they're called Supernova 10.
Oh, I know them. Yeah, I have their CDs. Yeah,
They're so cool.
Yeah.
Like,
they're really soft moon sounding.
Yeah.
yeah. But I think that, yeah, a lot of the Russian bands that are coming out.
Oh, you're on one of their songs, I think, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like that.
We recorded that like super fast. I was like, because they sent me lyrics and I had my friend translate them, and she's like, yeah, these are good. I was like, okay, cool. But yeah, I can't wait to go to Russia. That'd be really cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Super exciting.
Yeah.
But and other future plans, I don't
Russian.
think.
Oh yeah. Right. Cyrillic. Yeah.
I don't think I have any like other future plans besides touring for the rest of the year. I kind of just want to like take a break and like work on music videos or something, because every day is just like X Games mode. Like
Yeah. It sounds like you've been nonstop. Like,
Do you create your own ideas for music videos, or do you have someone that collaborates with you?
I think everything Mr. Kitty is like me. Like because the whole reason why it takes so long for me to do anything is because I want to know how to do it and do it myself.
Yeah.
So like I record all my music videos on my phone. It's like
awesome.
You can shoot in 4K and like put different lenses on it and like edit it on the phone too. It's like the best thing. But yeah, I usually have concepts and ideas and like storyboards planned out. It's just I'm too lazy to like do them sometimes.
Well, I think you're doing great.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yes.
And this release had like, is it 31 tracks?
30 tracks, and then there's like there's a couple bonus tracks, but they're just B-sides. But there's 15 B-sides too that are unreleased. Wow. So I'll put those out later.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's prolific.
I was just gonna say,
like, wow.
prolific for sure.
Well, because I wanted to make all this music, and I just kept having ideas, and I was like, yeah, I'm just out here writing hits. I don't care. I was like, I would play something on the keyboard, and I would just be like so confident in it. And I was like, in a time when I was like really depressed and like really upset that my friend passed away, I was just like, wow, I'm like really inspired, and everything was just sounding good, and I was like, yes. So then I looked at it, and I had like 80 songs like compiled in this one folder. They're all labeled like working 1, working 2, and then I was like, oh my god, I gotta pick something. So either some of them might go to a side project that I'm doing, or they might go as B-sides. I don't know. There's so many though.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's play some.
All right.
Thank you.
And we so appreciate having you.
Yeah, of course. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah.
I've never played in Kentucky before.
No one has.
No.
I mean, it's like, I knew a lot of friends that were in like those metalcore bands that would like tour constantly, and they would just, they'd play these small towns, and they'd have like so many people show up just because, like, Hot Topic being in like the malls and stuff, like that's like their gateway to like alternative culture. So
Yeah.
that's kind of like all
There
they
is
know.
a big metal scene here in Louisville. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. But I wouldn't say it's derivative of Hot Topic, would you? Like
No, our metal scene here is very
Old school, maybe.
Louisville was known for hardcore music.
Yeah.
Like hardcore.
Hardcore
Yeah, so-
like back in the 80s.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of dirt rocker edge or something to like the metal scene here. I mean, it's metal, but like, they're not like.
It's like Rusted.
It's not like.
Yeah.
It's like denim. It's like denim, and other than like Savage Master. Savage Master's pretty classic metal. It's pretty awesome. But
Like they wear denim?
well, like there's a lot of
Some of them.
There's a lot of like biker. What are they called? The vests, cuts,
sleeveless
cuts
and
or whatever.
Yeah.
They're cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Biker cut. They look like biker.
They've got
metal or something. I
a
don't know.
grungy sense.
Sweet,
to
man.
Metal as well.
Right. Whatever.
That's kind of what I think. Is like it's ethereal metal. Like it just depends on the band.
Yeah.
So.
It's always
Yeah.
been rough on us because, like, for one, I'm not a young man, and it's like I grew up on new wave and synth pop and goth, and it's like that's never been a huge thing here, So
Yeah.
It's always like, I think it's coming like now just because there's like so many like pop bands that are like going towards that like new wavy like synth pop sound.
Now we've always really been into
We have.
it.
Yeah,
like
that's
we
good,
have,
though.
Like we've been DJing together for 16
Oh,
years.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, it's so crazy to see like how pop music is just like evolving and like doing like crazy things. Like
Lines blurred in every way,
It's just like everything's like crossing over to like everything.
Yeah, and all these great music festivals. Like I wanted to go down to Florida last weekend, but I couldn't. We went like
We're at Cold
Chicago.
Waves.
Cold Waves, and then San La Morete, and then I really wish I could have gone to Florida too, but
They had like a murder cruise like before that, like in New York.
no, we had to pick and choose, like, but we go to as many as we can. So
Florida's just got a great scene.
They do,
I
yeah.
just, like,
yeah,
Yo, have y'all been to Wave Gothic Treffin?
that's the goal. I got told that we would possibly DJ for
Mexico
that.
City
So,
too.
yeah.
Oh, Mexico City's fucking lit. I don't even care about anything else. Like Mexico City, like it's the fucking
I bet
best.
that's the best.
Yeah, it was like when I played with She Passed Away, it was like the fucking Beatles. Like, with people were screaming like crazy.
How many people do you think were there?
Wow.
How many?
Yeah.
Well, it was sold out. So capacity for that venue was probably about like 2,500 people.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Wow.
And so it was packed. Like if you tried to go into the venue, you could only go like to the doorway, and then you could look in, and then it was just people all the way back.
Yeah.
I mean, when we saw She Passed Away in Chicago, it's like 500 people max, maybe probably less than that, really.
Yeah, but probably like I would say like 3 to 4, maybe.
Yeah, like there were people like on the floor, and then there were people on the balcony. It was just like packed everywhere.
Wow.
People were screaming, passing out. I was
Everything I've seen of Mexico City is just.
Well, we watched a video. There's a new band, like they only have a release. They have a tape out. Like, it's like what's the band that we were watching the video the other night? They said they just have 3. They have a tape out, just like 3 songs on YouTube. but they had a video of them like playing, and it was like packed.
Yeah. It was Stranger.
Stranger and Lovers.
Yes, that's right.
Oh,
Stranger and Love.
I was just listening to them in the car.
Yeah, I love them.
So
yes,
weird.
they're great.
DJ down there, is it DJ Fair?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know like Zach, the guitar player for Kentucky Vampires, his wife is from Mexico.
They have a lot of cool bands though.
I know that when he brought her here, she's probably like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah, they're just
compared to Mexico City.
They're so enthusiastic and just so like about it.
Yeah.
And then they have the whole El Chopo like shopping area where it's just all alternative like clothing, like
This shit.
anything goth, anything punk, like anything alternative. Like,
Oh, that's so fun.
it's just like all this open air market. Like they have so many. They have this one booth that's like all like horror T-shirts.
Yeah.
But I think they're a bootleg of some design that they do. But there were so many. And
Oh my
I
God.
just
Yeah.
was like, I am gonna go broke buying stuff.
So you bought all kinds of stuff there. Yeah.
But it was super cheap was
Yeah.
the thing. Like
Yeah.
it was just nuts. Like
And so I'm guessing you have not played Wave Cautic Trefkin yet?
I have.
You have?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I missed that.
I played to 5,000 people.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god,
That's awesome.
incredible.
It was
What lineup were you on?
I was headlining. And
Yay.
it was a show with this band called Confrontational. Xenius from Berlin
Yeah.
played. Oh god. I think Ash Code might have played too.
Yeah.
I don't remember the other two bands, but it was. I remember Xenius and Confrontational,
Yeah.
but that was about it. But yeah, I was headlining, and it was like one of the longest sets that I played. It was about like 95 minutes.
Wow.
And then I closed out with a Depeche Mode cover, and everybody just lost their goddamn mind.
Which cover?
Enjoy the Silence.
Nice.
But I did a mix of like the live version that they do, so it's like the extended like
Yeah.
club mix.
Yeah.
Like the crazy intro with the choirs and stuff.
Nice.
So yeah, I was just like, I don't have any songs to play. Like, I don't have any more. Like,
Yeah.
what do you want? And I like,
What do you want?
I walked
What do you
back-
want?
I walked backstage and I got my laptop because I don't play with a laptop on stage. So I had all my backing tracks on there. I was like, 1 second. So I plugged in where the backing track goes to my laptop and I just cranked it up. I was like, all right, this is all I got. Just
That's
played it. And
awesome.
everybody just
Aw.
lost their minds.
So cool.
But yeah, they definitely didn't like or were kind of confused by my Rihanna "We Found Love" cover because it was like a post-punk, like, you know, chorus guitars, like 707 drum machine
Nice.
type cover with like the Dave Gahan type vocals. But I was like, oh yeah. My husband was like, they fucking did not understand what was going on. I was like, I mean, I had fun. I like trolling people sometimes too.
Yeah.
Why not?
That's great.
I ran away from you for what you put me through, with nothing left to prove.
hardware, either recording or live, or?
I think I use more hardware live than I use in my studio. I usually just use FL Studio to record everything.
Okay.
Like an audio interface that's like 1,000 years old. Like all of my equipment is so old and probably just gonna explode at one point. Like I've been working on 4 gigs of RAM since like 2009. So, but I have a new computer. It's like an MSI gaming computer, and it's like overkill on everything. It's like 64 gigs of RAM. Like 32 gigabyte video cards, and then it's just like, and it's literally like this big. And I'm like, what the hell? Curved monitor. Like I have, like, I'm so excited to use it. And I'm just like, I just want to make hits on this broken computer first. I just want to use it till it like just.
Although with more hardware and less, VSTs and shit, you can get away with 4 gigs of RAM or whatever, Yeah,
so. I usually use. I don't use too much VST or like any on my project files. It's very minimal. It's always like a lead, strings, or a pad, bass, maybe a sub bass, and just like a drum track and then vocal track.
Nice.
Yeah, it's very minimal, and so I just kind of have to figure out like what's effective versus like creating textures and like making it super extravagant. I was like, I'm trying to make a hit, and I'm trying to get shit stuck in people's heads.
The simpler the better, I think, in my mind, in a lot of ways. I think people overcomplicate it a lot of times, and I think a simple riff, a simple melody can be much more effective than having all this layered texture and whatnot.
It's like Pet Shop Boys. Like they have so many B-sides that could be just like hits. Like,
totally.
No problem. But yeah. Oh my goodness.
So you sort of from Dallas originally. Are you friends with people in the techno scene down there at all, or?
No.
Okay.
I don't really know anybody like now. Like I was friends with a bunch of people, and there were a bunch of bands like playing when I lived there, but they've all seemed to like disappear. I don't know where they went.
I'm buddies with the guy Gavin Guthrie who goes under TX Connect. He releases on Lies. I don't know if you're familiar with the techno scene at all, but
Gavin Guthrie. Oh my god! Like that's.
We had him play here a couple of years ago. Me and my friend Edwin and his husband Robert had him play here for a kind of a underground block party. So
I have not heard his name in a long time.
And he plays kind of crossover stuff. I mean, he's doing some sort of EBM influenced techno shit, and he's released on a lot of cool labels or whatever. But
interesting.
Yeah, random. I wasn't sure if you maybe knew him or not, but
yeah, the Dallas scene is usually pretty consistent. But yeah, like. I can't remember like anybody that like was in a band there. Like there's one band that I was really into that we played shows a lot. They were called Cutter, and they were like a post-punk type band. Their album and stuff is still up. And then the guy that did that band made a band called Ill. It's called IILL.
Okay.
But it's like really gritty, like not lo-fi, but just it's also post-punk type stuff.
But maybe overdriven a little bit or something.
Yeah, it's very, very like minimal.
Yeah.
But it slaps.
Yeah, right? Totally.
Yeah.
It slaps. Where's Brian Cole when you need him?
Exactly.
Too cool for school.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
We're wrapped.
Cool.
Thanks so much. Seriously.
Yeah.
Yay. Time to buy some t-shirts and listen to you play.
Awesome.
Yes.
Radio Arcane.